day at the ADL shop working on the old Black Pony. And we got everything done over on the passenger side of the engine. We got somewhat of the front put back together. We need to get this over here together so we could finish our hoses and all that connections. This air box here is actually full of oil. And I don't know why I didn't think about it sooner. Should have cleaned it out when I had the head off. This is my bad. It really is. But what I did is I removed the fuel filter assembly. It's pretty easy. There's like 4 bolts that holds that whole assembly on. I had all the hoses disconnected already. And then there was a bracket up here that I had to remove, and then this little wire harness unplug. I did all that. And then it's just going to be a series of bolts. Get my adapter. And they're an Allen head bolt. I thought they came all the way out. And these are the gaskets right here. I'll have to get the gasket scraper probably to get them off. They're probably original. The same way as the water header over there, the coolant header. They got these little, they're like a little rubber plug or whatever. And you mount them in there. You stick them on the air box there, and then they'll stay right in place. Probably could reuse these. I'm not going to though. I'm going to scrape this, clean this up. Put a carbon in there. Yep, quite a bit. We'll clean these all up and everything, and put new gaskets on there since we're doing it. And it's like I told the bosses now, I think it's just better off just to put new ones on there. You guys saw, basically this thing was so caked inside. It was all full of oil and everything. I tried wiping it out, but there was probably about a 1/4 inch of just grime in there. It was all carbon and stuff all built up. It was really bad. It was really caked in there bad. I really don't know how the sensor was reading. So I pulled the sensor out of it, and I actually put a bunch of degreaser and scrubbed it up a bunch, and then I stuck it outside and used a pressure washer with hot water. Got her pretty nice and clean. So now I'm just going to go through and just got to torque them down. So, we have gotten, the bus has gotten back. We ran the town to Hagerstown. Got me my new seal. Go. And he was like, well, does it really need to change? Came back with it. It's like, you know, I mean, it looks fine. It's the same as the one that was up here in the front. It's got a metal tube in it, and it's got like rubber on it, and it's got enlarged here where it fits in there, and then this one fits in, and then when the deal is pressed in and it bolts, it presses it together and keeps it, and it's a seal. And the thing is I was like, $5 or something, whatever it costs. I mean, wouldn't it be better to replace it now? It's all apart. Make sure that you got a good seal in there. And he bought them and brought them over here. They're sitting right over there in the desk. And he's like, yeah, they weren't $5. I'm like, how much? It was $12. $12 is worth it too. So we got the new seal, so I'm going to stick that in there. And then I'll drop the fuel filter assemblies. Look at the surfacing here, make sure it's rusted and stuff. No, looks good. Alright guys, we got our fuel filter assembly all cleaned up. Just gotta line up that gasket. I gotta plug in that wire. It's pretty impossible to plug it in. Once it's in there, there she went. Alright guys, next we're moving on to the oil cooler. So oil filter assembly. Got your water pump on there and everything. And these leak in these Freightliner. They're known for it. It's these two little O-rings right here. And they're just an O-ring and they get hard and everything. And they sit right down in here. This is your oil cooler right here. And you can actually see that it's actually been leaking. So basically what you do is the seals are starting to leak a little bit. But since we got this all apart, the boss said, you know what? Let's put a new oil cooler in there. So he had me pick one up from Sheboygan. I'm actually on hold with a Freightliner place out here. They're horrible people. They are horrible to deal with. They have such attitude. It's not even funny. But I have that broken coolant line, and it's just like, you know, I could try to patch it. It'll never hold. That stuff is pre-made. It's heated and shrunk on it. You could try to go get some like irrigation fittings and hoses and clamps and stuff. Better off just get the correct one. And so I'm on hold with them just to see if they have it. Because I mean, it's like a 2-hour drive to go get it. But these are pretty simple. We have a new cooler right here. And there is a couple locator pins right in here. And basically, you just set it right down on there. And you want to make sure that the locator pins are in the holes. Real simple. And then there's 4 bolts on each side. I use those words for you guys. I've actually been in there. And they're just horrible people to deal with. I've never been there at night, but this one guy in the daytime, I think the main guy. He's always there. He's at the front. He's always the guy, and he just has an attitude so bad it isn't even funny. And I've actually been in there one time getting parts, and he had this whole attitude thing going on, and I just said, you know, I'm from Wisconsin. And I said, it's so shocking how people have such attitudes out here in service, out here in these truck places and stuff. I don't know why you got to be this way. I said, I'm just looking for some parts, looking for some help here, and move on. And there was some supervisor guy walking by, and he came over and he's like, is there a problem? And I'm like, yeah, I can't get this. I said, this guy just has such an attitude. It's wrong. I said, I don't want to ever come here. And he's like, yeah, I know. He was standing right next to the guy. He's like, I know it's a shame why people have to come to work with have such attitudes. Why can't they just enjoy their job? If they don't like their job, they can get a different one. He said it right in front of the guy. And I was like, whatever, you know. I figured that was the guy who got his butt reamed out, whatever. And I just went there yesterday and had to do this whole big list of stuff. And this guy is because the boss tried to get a windshield washer tank for one of the trucks. And they didn't have it. And I don't know if he told them to order it or what, or if they just ordered it, assuming he wanted it, I don't know. But I was there getting other parts and they brought this out and I'm like, I don't think we need that. And I messaged the boss and the boss was like, no, we already got it. And so I told him that. Oh, the guy threw a fit about it. Said it was a special order. Blah, blah, blah. Just going on and on. And I'm like, and he's like, well, it costs money to send stuff back. There's a piece of my finger I'll never get back again. Blood going in the oil cooler, this one. There we go. Thing's bleeding pretty dang good. And then just put a gasket on it. We actually got extra gaskets. We ordered a gasket from them and we got to open the package and there was 3 gaskets in one package. Basically it just slips on like that. So it's on there, there's 2 guide pins, and I am going to flip this over. I'm going to actually clean out the oil filter assembly. I'm going to clean all that out since we can just flip it upside down and clean all the inside out, make sure there's no debris, no little piece of aluminum or anything in there. Clean all that out while I got this out and about. And then you just lift it back up in there and got your little guide pins. Just make sure they go back in the holes and throw bolts back in there and tighten her up. Alright. So basically what we're doing is we're lining this up. There's a guide pin here and there's one down in the other corner. We gotta try to get this in line up the guide pins, keep the gasket in place, and then this here tube goes up in top of there. Probably be easier to do it without. We never do things the easy way, right? So, okay. This hose is going to be a problem too. Might actually help hold it a little bit. Alright, we got our oil filter, coolant filter, assembly, oil coil and everything. We got this whole housing on there and everything's tightened up, torqued down. So now we gotta start connecting the wires. I really hope that you guys paid attention during disassembly. That you remember where these go. Let's see. Lock it. Ooh, big old goober there. Seems like it goes this way. Seems like it should be right there. But I'm not really sure. I don't see any plugs over there. Sure seems like it goes right here someplace. I bet you. Oh, I know what this is for. This is, I don't know if you guys can see me or not. This is for the sensor deal. This plugs into the sensor, so it does go there. I know where it goes. So now, what do we want to do here? I'm kind of restricted on what I can do at the moment. I got to get that coolant line before I can touch any of the fuel lines. I guess I could do all these. Well guys, we have gotten this all back together. This whole side is done. Um, got a few plugs. I don't know where they go. I think they're going to go to mass flow sensor. That's what I'm thinking. But we got the fuel lines all ran. Everything is in. Oh, you know, I have forgotten one thing over here. It's sitting right here. Forgot this here bracket. My pile over there on the floor is getting a lot smaller. A lot smaller. But I'm just not working as hard and as fast as I usually do. But I got that side now all together this afternoon. Just run around. Now the front end is pretty much done. And I think to finish it off for tonight, we're going to do this. That's what we're going to do. More beeping noises out there. Hear all that stuff? I don't know what's going on. It's a lot. Sounds like a lot of stuff going on outside. I don't see nobody out there. This should be a 13 millimeter. Nope. Actually, I think it's standard. Correct. It's 9/16. Get the impact and everything else. Impact gun and all that. Yeah. Well, there we go. It's actually starting to look like a truck engine. Truck back together now. Belts are all on.